It is 101, so we are going to get started. Thank you for joining me today in my weekly webinar. And today we're going to be talking about accountability. And here's something that I think we all have dealt with. Accountability often feels like a negative thing. Like accountability, ooh, somebody's going to get in trouble, or we need to hold people accountable. And you hear about this all the time. In politics, we need to hold people accountable, and that almost always means consequences and punishments of some sort, correct? Yes. But what I would like to propose to you today is that accountability does not have to be consequence driven. It does not have to always mean punishment. In fact, accountability can often be positive if you use it in the right way. So I've got 5 points that I'm going to talk about today. And these are going to be quick and short because I don't want this video to go on for an hour. Some of my videos have been an hour long, and it's like, okay, maybe that's too long, Todd. Let's rein it in a little bit. So first, accountability does not have to equal punishment. Most leaders default to consequences when employees fall short. And I would like to challenge that notion. I think accountability can often be positive, but it must be early and often. So I'm going to give you an example, and I've used this example several times with other clients this week. Let's say it is 9 a.m. on Monday morning, and you have to give a task to Todd. And Todd needs to get this done by 3 p.m. Monday afternoon. And it is 2:30 Monday afternoon, and you're starting to get a little nervous that Todd's not going to get this done. Then 3 p.m. rolls around, and Todd does not deliver. So you don't say anything, so you wait until Tuesday. Todd still does not deliver. Now you're starting to get mad, but you get busy, and so there's other things going on. Now it's Wednesday morning. Todd still has not delivered this project to you by 3 p.m. Monday afternoon, and it is a day and a half later. And now you're mad. So now we need to hold Todd accountable. We're going to give Todd a write-up. We're going to have a meeting. We're going to have to talk about his future with the company, all these things because you're mad. Is that the right time to have that conversation? No, it's not. So let's rewind back to Monday morning. And I'm going to give you a scenario of how this might look a little different and probably go a whole lot better for you. So 9 a.m. Monday morning, you give Todd a project that's due by 3 p.m. that afternoon. Now it's 11:30 and you think about it. You're like, I wonder if Todd's doing that. You send Todd a message on your inter-office communication platform. Say, hey, Todd, this just came across my desk again. I just want to make sure you have everything you need to get the project done. Oh, I totally forgot. Yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm going to get started on that right now. Okay, thanks. Now, that took what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds for you to do? But now Todd has a reminder. He knows that it is on your radar and he needs to get started on it. Now, you know that Todd forgot by 11:30. So you're going to check in again at 1:30. And again, you're going to send a quick message on your inter-office communication system. Hey, Todd, again, I just want to make sure, I know you forgot earlier. I want to make sure you have everything you need to get this completed by 3 p.m. Actually, yes, I do. I'm almost done with it. I'm going to have it to you by 2:30. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, all right, great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Todd now knows something else. Todd knows that you are really serious about getting this by 3 p.m., but knows that you are there to support him if he needs it, and you've checked in on him 2 different times now. That's accountability. Both of those interactions were positive, both of them were supportive, and both of them were moving both of you towards your desired results, correct? So now 3 p.m. rolls around and you already have the report in your hand because he delivered it at 2:30 like he said he was going to do. Fantastic. That's accountability. And that's accountability done right. Now, both of those times where I checked in on Todd, handsome devil, both of those times that I checked in on Todd, what did that take me? 10 seconds, 15 seconds tops each time. So now I am 20 to 30 seconds into my day, and all I've had to do is send a quick message. And I've held Todd accountable 2 different times. What does that show, Todd? It shows that I'm serious about getting the job done, but it also shows that I'm there to support him. And I'm building relational capacity with him because I've done it in a supportive way that makes him feel good. That's good accountability. Now, there's bad accountability and good accountability, and that's good accountability. That builds so much relational capacity with your direct reports. Second thing, missed deadlines can often be a problem with you. as the leader? Did you clearly communicate expectations to your direct reports? Do they fully understand what it is that you're looking for, what needs to happen, and when it needs to be completed by? Now, sometimes, absolutely, yes, you've done everything that you can do possible. You've checked in on them, you've supported them, you've reiterated the deadlines and the expectations, and they still don't get it done. Okay, yep. Now we have a problem, and now we have maybe a meeting where we talk about, yeah, this is not going to be pleasant because we've done everything that we can do. Positive accountability. Now there does need to be a consequence. Now, and I don't want you to get the idea that it can only be positive, but I know that positive works better if it's done right, early and often. Yes, sometimes negative consequences do have to come to your direct reports, and sometimes you. Yes, that is part of life, and we have to deal with that. But if we do everything else right, we can minimize the amount of negative accountability interactions that we need to have with our direct reports. I'm going to share a story with you, and this is not from my leadership days. This is well, I guess it would be from leadership. This is back way early on in my career when I was teaching sixth grade. And I taught all subjects. So my class was a self-contained class. So I taught language arts, math, science, social studies, the whole shebang. And we got done with a math unit. And I was going to give a math test. So I did. And I gave this math test, graded all of them, and realized that 75% of my students failed the test. Now, my first thought was, man, they didn't pay attention. I know some of them didn't do all the homework. These kids are really just not focused. They're so unfocused. And then I got over myself a little bit. And then I was like, if 75% of the class failed, it can't be all of them, because I had some good math students. And even some of them failed. So I humbled myself. I went to my principal and I was like, hey, this is what happened. What should I do? This is new for me. And she was very kind. She's like, maybe you should reteach the unit. Reteach it in a different way, use different ideas, different examples, and see if that helps. So I did, and yes, it was fantastic. All the kids end up passing the test. Now, varying grades, of course, but that was a really good reminder that it was me. I did not have clear expectations. I wasn't teaching the material well. I needed to do things differently. That was on me. So sometimes when you have people who are failing you or not getting the job done, look at yourself first before you overreact or even respond, and just ask yourself, did I clearly communicate everything that I needed done? Do they have everything that they need in order to do this correctly? And what are the expectations? Are those known by everyone who's involved? Think about those things. Number 3, growth-oriented accountability builds trust and relational capacity. This is huge. You want to have good relational capacity with your people, because that means morale is going to be higher and they're going to work harder and better and more efficiently for you. Think about, and you're all going to be able to do this. So we're going to do this mental exercise together. Think about a boss that you've ever had in your life, and it could be from anywhere, that you have absolutely loved. That, man, I cannot wait to work for this person. They lead me well. It's a great working environment. I really enjoy it. And this could be from like when you were working at the pizza place when you were 16. That's fine. But we all have a boss that we really, really liked. We would work hard for them. We would always work hard for them. Now I want you to think about the opposite. Think about a boss that you absolutely disliked. Did you put forth the same effort for that person? No, you didn't. Now, some of us are going to say, sure, I did. I gave the same effort. Yeah, but your mind wasn't in the same place. And if your mind's not in the same place, your effort's not going to be in the same place. So building good relational capacity with your people and being growth-oriented, solution-oriented. I harp on these words a lot because they're really important. Solution-oriented mindset and growth mindset. Those are the biggest things in my book for being a great leader. And if you can multiply that into your direct reports and the people who are under you, that is going to be a huge win for you, your business, and your organization. When you are doing these things, when you're growth-oriented and you're coaching them along instead of using consequences and punishment, then your people feel seen, they feel supported, and not attacked. And that's huge. You don't want your people to feel attacked or like, oh man, when's Todd coming around? I know I'm going to get in trouble again. And they're just kind of working and they're, shrugging their shoulders and they're nervous around you. That's not a good working environment. You want employees who say, you know what, man, I really don't know what to do with this thing right here. Let me go ask Todd. Yeah. Yeah. Because he's cool when I ask him questions. So that's the sort of mindset that you want your employees to have. This strengthens your team morale and it fosters commitment to you and your organization. Now, are people going to leave? Absolutely. That is part of life. They get better jobs, they move, they get married, they do all sorts of things. So this is not, a one-stop shop for you're going to have this great organization with the same people forever. No, but it will help your company environment and your team environment. Number 4, accountability requires systems and not just conversations. How many times have you said, well, I told them? Yeah. Yep, you did. You told them once. Think about your own kids at home. How many times did you tell them to clean their room? Did you tell them once when they were 5 and they've been keeping their room clean until they were 18 or 20 and moved out? Probably not. You probably had to tell them multiple times, right? And sometimes these were not fun conversations. You need to put systems in place so that you as a leader are consistent and reliable. Now, I know a lot of us are thinking, well, I want my employees to be consistent and reliable. Yes. And if we think back to the great movie, Remember the Titans with Denzel Washington, there's a great line in that movie that's been used thousands of times by leadership people all around the world. Attitude reflects leadership. And absolutely 100% I agree with that. Attitude reflects leadership. If you build consistent systems for follow-up, feedback, and progress, your expectations are not going to fall through the cracks because then your people know what to expect. Now, if you are a leader who may be watching this, who is a gotcha leader, where you're looking for somebody to screw up so you can get them and make an example out of them, that's going to breed resentment in your staff. They're not going to like you for that. And that's going to also breed mistrust. It's going to breed them hiding things from you. It's going to breed them not being honest with you. But if you have an environment where employees mess up and you're like, okay, yep, you messed up, but it's not in the mess up, it's in how you fix the mess up. Now let's fix it and move forward. They're going to feel a lot better about making mistakes. Now, should they feel good about making mistakes? Like, yay, I made a mistake today. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you provide a supportive environment for them, even when they mess up and they come to you, think about, again, go back to your own children. When your kids mess up, do you want them to hide it and lie about it to you? No. You want them to be honest and come to you and talk to you about it so that you can solve the problem and move forward. And I said this yesterday in a coaching call that I was on. Your direct reports, your employees, the people under you in your organization, they are your work kids. Sometimes you spend more time with them than you do your own children if the week is busy enough. But yes, those people are your work children and treat them as such. Now, you don't talk down to them or treat them like children, but in that vein, you want them to be open and honest with you. And just like you want your children at home to be open and honest with you, that's the best relationship. I have seen in a professional environment where there have been people who said, you know what, I am done. I am done with you. I am done with this, whatever. And because they're mad, absolutely. But you can't ever be done with your own children. If they're living at your house and your 7-year-old spills on your new carpeting, you can't just be like, I am so done with you. No, you're not, and you can't. Let's take a deep breath. Let's respond and not react. Let's create systems and procedures that keep everybody accountable, but also don't let things fall through the cracks. And that's for you as a leader to put into place. Now, can you get some help from your employees and direct reports about what that looks like? Absolutely. They're the ones in the trenches doing the thing. I've used this example a couple of times, but Toyota, the car company, Toyota, has a policy, and I'm not sure if it's still in place, but this was one of the things that made them one of the biggest car manufacturers in the world. They had a policy in place that as cars were, working their way down the assembly line, if one of the employees on the assembly line found a problem that was going to be detrimental to all of the successive cars that were coming down the line, they had the power and the authority to stop the entire line, get management involved, and help solve the problem. Man, what empowerment. Like, you have a line worker who can stop the entire assembly line, bring down upper level management to solve a problem to make the product better. What if you did that in your businesses and organizations? Because you are not the be all end all. You are the leader, yes. And is it yours to set mission and vision? Yes. But do you have every single great idea? No. And there are plenty of stories about how somebody in the mailroom 5 years later has a great idea, and now they're in the boardroom. Think about that. You might have an employee like that in your business, in your organization. And if you are secure enough in your own self and your own leadership, you can help that person thrive. Remember, as leaders, you are supposed to cultivate an environment for your employees to thrive and do the work well. You're not supposed to do it for them and micromanage it. You're supposed to create an environment where they can shine and be rock stars. Think about your favorite band. I did this example with somebody yesterday on a coaching call. Think about your favorite band, and they name their favorite band. Okay, cool. Who's the lead singer of that band? Such and such. Great. If you were to announce a concert with the band, but the lead singer would not be there, how many tickets would you sell? Right. You need the rock star to be the rock star. So let them thrive, let them flourish, and let them thrive. Last point. And this is one where we're going to have to really look inwardly and reflect on ourselves a little bit. Leaders who avoid accountability create bigger problems. Yep, 100%. Avoiding hard conversations just to keep the peace leads to resentment, burnout, and decay within your organization. If you are avoiding hard conversations because you don't want to rock the boat or you want everybody to be happy, then you are allowing certain things in your organization. I had a leader of mine once tell me, if I think about something once, maybe I'm just thinking about it. But if I'm thinking about something twice, then I probably need to say or do something about it. And that advice held true for a long time and still does. And it's great, because if there's something going on in your business that you don't like, but you don't say anything about it, then what you're really doing is allowing it. And if you're allowing it, then you're giving it permission, even if you don't like it. And this can go for, oh man, we could go back into parenting, we could go into marriage, we could go in all sorts of different directions. But if there's something going on in your business, in your organization that you don't like, but you're not saying or doing anything about it, then you are absolutely giving it permission to exist in your business or your organization. When you handle things the right way, let's say we're talking about something negative and you've learned about this thing and you've come across this. If you handle it the right way, yes, maybe one person, let's go to the extreme. Let's say one person gets fired because it's really bad and somebody has to be let go and there's a definite punishment and consequence. Sure. If everybody else sees that thing going on and now you come in and handle it and that person's terminated, that doesn't make everybody else scared, because a lot of your employees, probably most of your employees, are doing the right thing. And they saw what that person was doing and they didn't like it either. And they didn't want that to happen. And now you've come in and handled it and done the right thing, even though it was negative for a time. That's going to build respect for you from your employees, guaranteed. And you've all experienced that. You've been working someplace and you know somebody is doing a horrible job and management allows it. And so that really kind of makes you less interested in doing a good job. It's like, well, if they're doing a crappy job, why am I working so hard? Because management's not saying anything to them. They're just letting that go on. So management must not really care about the quality of our work because, whatever. Now let's flip the script. Let's say you see that person who's doing a horrible job and management comes in and addresses them. Oh, management has expectations. Okay, great. Let's say that person goes back to doing a horrible job and management then lets them go. Oh, yeah, because they were doing a bad job and that's making all of us look bad. I respect them for letting that person go. Absolutely. That could be you. Is it a hard conversation? Absolutely. Is it going to be uncomfortable sometimes? Sure. But is it necessary? Absolutely. And will that make you a better leader and more respected by the people who you lead? Absolutely. And that is one of the things of leadership, is being respected in your role. Because if you're in a role and nobody respects your leadership, then you're not really leading anybody, and you're probably not very effective in your job. All of us as leaders want to be respected, because you can't be a leader if you don't have followers. So you need people to follow you. And by doing the hard things, sometimes, silly example, my wife is really good at technology. So she takes care of technology in our home. Me, I kill spiders. And when I'm home and there's a spider crawling on the wall, my name gets called and I handle that. And then my wife, what does she do? She gives me a kiss on the cheek. Thank you for killing that spider. You're absolutely very welcome, honey. Because I handled something. I took something off of her plate that she didn't have to do. And when you as leaders handle problems or have hard conversations or take things off the plate of your employees so that they don't have to deal with the hard situation, you are building respect, building relational capacity, and building rapport with your people. You're also raising the morale within your business or your organization. And that is huge. I say huge a lot, but it is. It is huge for your people. You have no idea. Those of you who have worked for a really bad leader and then worked for a really good leader, that comparison is always in the forefront of your mind. You're like, man, I used to work for so-and-so and that was horrible, but this is so much better. And you appreciate the leader who leads well because of the comparison with the bad leader. Now, maybe you've never worked for a bad leader before, so maybe this doesn't hit as hard for you. Be thankful. Be thankful for that, because there are people around you who have worked for bad leaders. And sometimes your leader isn't the smartest, the brightest, or the best, but they take care of you and they help you do your job. Maybe that's your role as a leader. Maybe your role as a leader is to just take care of people and make sure that they're doing their job well and have everything that they need. Maybe your job as a leader isn't to have all the answers. Maybe there's somebody else who's got better answers than you. That's okay. Let the rock stars be the rock stars. I hope you have found these 5 tips very, very helpful. I hope they help you grow in your own leadership, and I hope that you take these things and put them into practice in your life. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have found this information helpful, please like and subscribe to wherever you are seeing this video. Also, I am starting a People First Leadership Mastermind next week, June 4th, that I'm going to put the registration link below as well. So if you're watching this video and you hear about this is an online community where we will meet on a weekly basis and learn new leadership concepts. We will brush up on old leadership concepts, and we will also take your problems and issues and help you solve them in this community. You'll also receive direct coaching from me. And if you are one of the founding members, you get a free one-on-one coaching session just with me exclusively. So I hope you found this helpful. Have a fantastic rest of your week and lead well.